I've seen the...
Good morning and thanks for joining us on the conversation. Coming to you live on Lagos Television. I am Ajibola Ojeshola. Some interesting discussions happening behind the scene. And unconsciously, we were put out there and Joshua didn't know. But now you're live, so you have to speak. Don't think about that thing that Solomon said, please.
What a way to start my year. Of course, with that kind of information. Welcome to the conversation. My name is Joshua Murakio. It's good to be here again.
Good to be back. I am Joy Olu. Welcome to the conversation.
I'm just wondering why your voice was low, Joy. Because of that news, you are jealous of Solomon because of his fat pay.
Is it not enough?
But never mind, your miracle is on the way.
Put an amen to it.
Just be hopeful. As long as there is life, there is hope. So one day, you will smile.
But that kind of information can be depressing, But let us stop playing in the hyperbole. So many issues happening. The president is out of the country talking about the energy summit in Tanzania. We have, we just recently come back with a high-power delegation from Davos, talking about the World Economic Summit. Now, we have so many issues happening in Nigeria as well, happening with the economy and how far we've gone with what exactly are we doing to ramp up the economic or the lives of the people in terms of what we prefer or what we give them. And that's the conversation happening in the country.
Okay, probably that was what the Vice President saw, because one of our news points this morning is titled, Tinubu government committed to delivering better Nigeria. And the Vice President went on and on saying that they understand what Nigerians are facing presently, and they are putting certain things in place to make life better for all Nigerians. But how soon we shall begin to enjoy these policies and programs of government to really make us feel the impact of good governance is really what I do not know. And aside from what is happening at the federal level, many people were apprehensive yesterday as to what was going to happen at the Lagos State House of Assembly. But everything went peacefully, not minding the heavy presence of security operatives at the Assembly. And of course, we'll see how things are going to pan out in a matter of days to come.
For me, it's the hypocrisy of the former speaker, because considering that he was very bold to have that mini rally in his home and, of course, have a press conference after, but he didn't show up yesterday. I'm wondering, was it caught up in traffic?
What kind of traffic? For how many hours?
That's my own question. Was it caught up in traffic?
And he couldn't make it.
Something came up
and he couldn't make it.
And he couldn't make it after coming back with
he changed his mind.
About what?
About coming to the Assembly.
Well, why didn't he think about that before he granted that press? What polity is he trying to hit up? I am sure that with all that...
I knew ab initio it was not going to be there.
But I believe that was a man enough, because ordinarily, I was thinking it wasn't that kind of scenario that played out on Saturday wasn't going to happen. But the fact that he did, I felt that he was going to pull through with that,
and show up
at the assembly. I was looking forward to it.
But he's still a member of the House, isn't he?
Who denied him that?
So
nobody's saying he's not a member of the House. But
But I felt he was going to show up so that he will cement his place and tell them that the move of impeachment was wrong.
But unfortunately, the new speaker is already in that office. So we are moving on in Lagos State, and of course in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So quickly, we'll take you through what the newspapers are saying this morning. I did say earlier that the Vice President is telling us that the Tinubu administration is committed to delivering better Nigeria. Tinubu government committed to delivering better Nigeria. That's coming from the Vice President, Kashim Shettima. Vice President Kashim Shettima has assured Nigerians that the current administration of President Bola Tinubu will continue to provide the values of democratic system by fixing major weaknesses of the economy, securing communities, fighting corruption, and strengthening the independence of the judiciary and improving national cohesion. Shettima said this in Abuja yesterday at the National Conference on Strengthening Democracy in Nigeria with the theme, Strengthening Nigeria's Democracy, Pathways to Good Governance and Political Integrity, organized by the African Center for Leadership, Strategy and Development. Shettima, who was represented by Special Advisor on Political Matters, Akim Baba Ahmed, said while democracy is not a perfect system, it is still considered the best form of government compared to others. I would like to assure Nigerians that our administration is acutely aware of many concerns over our direction and goals, particularly given the difficulties which some of our policies inevitably generate. We are also involved in correcting many defects in our economy and approaches to securing the citizens. We have been honest to admit that this transition from a broken past and a promising future will not be without a price, and will remain focused on easing the pain and ensuring that we do not take our eyes off the goals. We will listen and adjust where necessary, and will account for our stewardship in all manner of our challenging democratic demands. I'm convinced that Nigeria shall rise again, answer to its full potential, and lead the way to a future that has learnt lessons from a difficult past into a world in which our country will be a key player and our young will be active champions of a democratic system that speaks to them. So the Vice President giving Nigerians the assurance that the Tinubu administration is committed to delivering a better Nigeria, no matter the challenges and the pains that we are going through presently. How hopeful are you looking at some of the policies of this government? At least you have your minimum wage now from 30,000.
Well, you are looking for my trouble. I just came back on this show after a while. I took my time.
Let me say Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much.
On the conversation.
Yeah, thank you. Please, don't let me start. If I just get me riled up, it's too early in the day. It's too early. But one thing is, all the policies are important, considering that this should have happened years ago. What I'm just not too comfortable is the modalities of implementation and how to cushion the effect on Nigerians. That is where I have serious challenge with. Because ordinarily, if we can ramp up production, get more money into the government coffers, more states have more money, local governments have more money. It hasn't translated that much. I think all the methods of palliatives has shown that we should devise a better means of cushioning the effect as against buying half-bag rice,
5 kg
beans, gari. That hasn't worked so far.
It hasn't worked, and it's not really impacting the people, like you rightly said. When you give people a bag of rice or 5 kg of rice today, how long are they going
for a family of 5 or family of 4?
Within a day or two, it's gone.
Plus dependents.
So why not make the economy better, empower the people, give them the ability to feed themselves, instead of giving them...
The government knows where to go, that it will cushion the effect, the prices. They have places to subsidize. I know they're doing something with the pharmaceuticals. I know they're doing something with agriculture. I think we need to ramp up production as well. But somebody should talk to us and say, look, give us till so time of the year.
There be deadlines.
There be deadlines. Let us know what we are hoping for instead of endless hope.
If it's one thing that this government is good at, is dishing out messages of hope, always dishing out messages of hope. But how long we will continue to be hopeful?
Well, hope is what you survive on, in case you don't know. Well, if the absence of hope is committing suicide, and so that is not...
And at the end of this administration, your hope shall be renewed. You know, that we have had a different fora from different spokespersons.
I have another story. My feeding money comes from rent paid for Kaduna House.
Who is that?
He's a former president.
His feeding money comes from where?
Feeding money comes from
Let me read the story now. That's another talking point. Former President Muhammadu Buhari recently shared that he lives off rental income from one of his houses in Kaduna State, highlighting how he stayed honest while in office. At a political meeting on January 25 in Katsina State, Buhari talked about how hard it is to run Nigeria and explained how he keeps himself financially stable. Speaking in the Hausa language, he told everyone that he owns just 3 houses, one in his hometown of Daura and 2 in Kaduna State. Quoting him now, after my 8 years as a civil president, I have only 3 houses, 1 in Daura and 2 in Kaduna. I have given one out for renting, where I get money for feeding. Buhari explained. He talked about how it's difficult to govern Nigeria, that you don't know how difficult it is until you get there, and that it's looking better, much better now. And he said no one can accuse him of taking money illegally while he was president, and he takes pride in having served without corruption during his time in office.
Now, it's an achievement, and You know, that's why people will continue to refer to him as Mr. Integrity. But I know, except if I'm wrong, Joshua, correct me, when you are a former president in this country, the federal government will continue to take care of you. You get vehicles, you get treatments, you get all sorts of perks. So, Mr. President or Mr. Former President telling us now that
he's
feeding from the rent from his 3 houses or 2.
But what I have challenge with is this what we call, for what Mr. President did with, the challenge I have is I have like soft spots for him because I personally spoke in his favor when he came in 2015. And though I didn't speak that much in 2019, when I see how abysmal he performed, and 2019, the second time wasn't different from the first. Now, while he can insulate himself from the illegal means of financial inducement, he cannot tell me about the many corruption that surrounded his government. Have you forgotten the Dasuki Gate? I can mention so many at the top. I can't start this morning. It's too early in the day. Mr. President, just stay where you are in Katsina. And for mismanaging the economy to the level it is, God bless you. Keep shining, because he said it's looking better than it is. You didn't know, and that's the problem. That's the problem I have with Nigerian politicians. The only person that has been able to convince us that, like I said, look, I know what I'm getting into. I asked for it, and I'm going to solve it. Is President Tinubu. Yeah. Other president is when they leave, they remember all the good things that they're supposed to do while they are president. He's talking about how challenging it is to go. Don't you know how complex Nigeria is? Have you tried to govern LTV? Oh, sorry.
It was difficult to govern Nigeria in his first time. Why did he come back?
Why did he ask for the mandate again? I can't, let's just keep it there.
It is well. All right.
It is well. So let's come to Lagos. Joy, what's happening there?
Lagos Assembly plans Obasa's fraud probe on resumption. The Lagos State House of Assembly has said it is expecting former Speaker Mudashiru Obasa to resume into the House before it determines the next line of action, including a possible probe. The spokesperson for the House, Olukayode Ogundipe, disclosed this in an interview at the Assembly complex. He said, quoting him now, on the other allegations against him, when he is on ground physically, those ones will be taken care of. There are other things we've also been hearing about, different amounts of money being spent by him. We felt we didn't know how they got the record of those, but the ones we have, when he's seated with us, actions will be taken. And he was also asked if the Assembly would submit a petition to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to probe the ex-speaker. The spokesperson responded, saying that will be expatiated when he's on ground. Probably a committee will be set up to look into it, or probably it will also be looked at by the leadership of the House. Those formalities, as per procedures, will be followed to the letter. So I'm sure you should expect the House to react to that when the time comes. Last week, the lawmakers removed Obasa, citing, among other things, corruption allegations. Anyway, yesterday, let me move down. Yesterday, the new speaker moved into her office, and there was no plenary session yesterday. That's what happened yesterday. End of story.
Okay, end of discussion, are we?
Yeah, end of discussion.
All right. Hopefully, maybe he will be there today, and like Honorable Ogundipe rightly said, it's still one of them. So, but the issue of a probe, or the allegation that these and these happened financially, for me, EFCC is there. If you have your evidence, just call EFCC. Don't waste your time probing anything.
I've been forgetting about the saying, you give a dog a bad name just to hang it. Just to hang it, yeah. Something must get Right Honorable Obasa out of that office. And whatever it is, you know, better politics more than I do.
I don't. I'm not a politician.
I'm a broadcaster like you. You play politics and you anchor a political show as well. So
this just
you know all the political.
I am not a member of any political party.
That doesn't make you naive or incompetent to speak about politics. Right from the time I've known you, you've always talked politics.
Because I read about politics.
In fact, I knew you as a political head of the union in this organization. So Jibola cannot lie about his understanding of the workings.
Focus on the assembly, Joshua.
And most of the members of the House of Assembly are his friends. So Jibola understands the intricate details.
My lawyer will get in touch with you.
Well, this is the bottom line. He needed to go. So whatever happens that made him go, and all the conjectures he was giving that I wasn't in the house. Must you be in the house before you are removed as speaker? I don't understand. Whether it's the right one or the fake one, in as much there's a maze in the house, the proceedings can continue. And I think he shouldn't be politically naive as well to understand that when you want to get somebody out in this country, everything will work in the favor of those who really want to get you out, especially if you are
against you.
Yes, exactly. Especially if they are in the majority. So you should stop playing the ostrich and just get down to being quiet, sit down in the house and make his contributions. Represent his people very well. He is the longest serving member, so he should act as such. Former speaker. Ellie, contribute this.
No.
But anyway, the lawmakers.
Well, if you want to have the floor, they will refer to you as former speaker. Honorable.
Is there still the right honorable?
No, the right has been removed because he's no longer the speaker.
No, a former speaker is always
when you are addressing him outside of
a right is a right.
Okay.
Yes.
A wrong is a wrong. Okay. So much we have said about the developments in the Lagos State House of Assembly. We'll be moving to X now and see what is trending. It is football. The draw for the 2025 AFCON is out. And Nigeria is in Group C with Tunisia, Uganda, Tanzania. Yeah. And of course, we have the other pairings of the group. Group A, we have Morocco, Mali, Zambia, Comoros. And Group B, we have Egypt, South Africa, Angola, Zimbabwe.
So I've heard like on X and while coming to the office on sports programs where people talk about how easy the group is, and I said, look, that's another prerequisite, another catalyst for our downfall, a massive one. They are talking about how handsome our coach is.
What has that got to do with playing football?
See, there's no country like Nigeria. It is only in this country that we forget the pains that we're going through. We focus on the mundane. Then after the reality we'll come back to our reality. So when they were talking about how easy Tanzania, Tunisia, don't forget Tunisia is the former winner of AFCON. We have so many. There's no minnows. After all, Nigeria came to beat us here. So we shouldn't be too proud. We should go to the tournament prepared and let's go do it. Forget about this thing. If we can win it, it will be fantastic. It sets us on a good pedestal for our World Cup qualification. Because at the because at the moment we are way down as far as the World Cup qualifiers are concerned.
When you look at this group again, okay, we have Nigeria, we have Tunisia. Tanzania is not an underdog because their league is far better than ours, and majority of their players are home-based.
It doesn't still mean that they
so you underrate them at your peril.
They are still
underdog.
They are still
minors. Are there minors in African football again?
Yes, they still.
Okay.
There are some teams that...
And we are the giant of Africa.
We have San Marino. You still trash them 9-0.
Okay.
We are giant, just that somebody is holding us by the jugular or by the balls. So we are struggling, seriously.
All right, so that's the full draw for the 2025 AFCON. We have Group A, B, C, D, E, and F. And of course, Ivory Coast is in Group F with Cameroon, Gabon, and Mozambique. So hopefully, what do you expect as Nigerians? We are praying that we'll do the needful, put the right people as our players, and of course, bring AFCON home. And that, of course, will put us in the right place for the World Cup. Super Eagles. They're so super when they're playing football.
Yes.
But most times we play with our mouth instead of our legs.
Football makes us happy. I love football personally.
It's a unifier.
I played until I nearly died.
Oh.
So that's
professional football.
No. Okay. It was just an exhibition match. I was the secretary of Peace Corps of Nigeria then, the national secretary. So they said, Oga, come and play. So I've forgotten that the last time I played was in secondary school, and I deliberately fouled so that I can get red card, because I nearly died, because while other people were angry that why would the ref give me red card? Me, I was happy inside that I am leaving the field. I'll go arrest. So I forgot that scenario in secondary school. Then this was years, after. Almost 10 years after. I now went to play, but I didn't spend like 4 minutes. I told God, if God can help me get out of that situation,
I won't dare play ball again.
Touch ball again. Because I only ran down the field like twice. I was gasping
for breath.
I was almost dead.
So it's not your calling.
I'm sure some people will understand this if you've played. I just slide on the floor. I couldn't close my mouth. I couldn't open it. I couldn't. If
everybody will not understand, Olumide will understand. You know, we had a media game at the National Stadium, and Olumide was shouting, "Let me come and play! Let me come and play! Let me come and play!" Eventually, it was brought in, and Olumide barely played 5 minutes, and he was panting. His leg, he wanted his leg to move, but the leg could not move.
Moving.
That was how he was thrown out.
It wasn't funny. Me, I just like that. I just say, God. I just say, is this how people die? I just said, no, it's not funny.
But you see white lights.
No. I couldn't. Do you know what means you can't breathe? I couldn't breathe. I just said, no. All of you are laughing. It's not the funny matter.
Since that time, still alive.
That time, I do it in my clothes. Play the ball to me and now. Yeah.
All right, so we have said so much about football. We're taking a very quick break on the program. Where we come back, our first conversation on the program today is on security votes. Security votes. You got to find out after this break.